Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Before we begin, don't forget your free 30-day trial of eVoice. eVoice gives you a toll-free or local number so you can take business calls from anywhere and always sound like you're at the office. Also, eVoice has great features like dial-by-name directory and even transcribes your voicemail so you can read them at your convenience. Go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click on the eVoice banner for your 30-day free trial.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
The Mike O'Mara Live Show is brought to you by Encore Insurance Services, LLC. They are the people who will bring you this show on Saturday night with Omaricon Live at the State Theater. If you would like a free life insurance quote, visit smartterm.com or call 866-347-5748. They'll do all the work for you. Encore will compare rates to help you save. License and disclaimer info at smartterm.com. Be sure to thank them for sponsoring TMOS, Encore Insurance Services at smartterm.com.
I'm so glad Dick came by today.
Hello.
Hi, Dick.
Hello.
You know, it's good you're here because right now Mike is icing his jaw.
I understand he hit himself with the microphone right before the show started.
Pretty hard. Yeah,
Well,
it was
that's,
enough that I was laughing.
You don't think that you're sitting in a chair
Yes.
and flapping your gums all day is a hazardous occupation, but by golly, if you're going to just drag that microphone into your teeth, by golly, that's going to be a painful little equation, ain't it?
You know, have you ever asked Mike?
Hello, Rob.
Dick, have you ever asked Mike if he's ever done that before that hard?
I know he came into my restaurant.
Yes.
Up at Sick to Me, we were sitting there.
That's sick tummy.
Sick to Me. I'm sorry, I slurred. I slurred my words.
I understand.
I slurred my words. He came up to Dick Queasy's Discarded Seafood, and we were having the Discarded Lobster Dinner Feast.
Yeah.
And he put down 3 of those, and when he got his lobster cracker out, he cracked one of those large shells.
Sure.
And now most of our shells are already pre-cracked because that's what people do when they eat them around the first time, and they realize they're slightly ammoniated, and they throw them away, and we pick them up and bring them right into the restaurant.
And you pass the savings along to us.
You, the consumer.
Right.
Because I care.
You do care.
So Mike was using the cracker, and by golly, one of those claws just broke off right at the seam.
Sure.
Yes.
And popped right up into his eye.
Really? Was he all right?
Oh, I thought he was going to lose a cornea.
You know, I should take a moment to introduce one of our finest sponsors and an old friend.
Hello.
It's Dick Queasy from Sick Tummy, Maine.
That's right, Dick Queasy of Dick Queasy's Discarded Seafood.
What brings you our way?
I came down to apologize that, unfortunately, due to some regulations as far as travel is concerned, Dick Queasy will not be providing the backstage catering for Omaricon 2015.
Oh, no, that's BS.
That is BS.
Because I had you for craft services. I had you written down years ago.
Well, I you know what it's going to be? There are a couple of things. I have it on good authority that homosexual over there in Herndon, Virginia, called the City Fathers because he wanted to cater backstage.
Oh, Jimmy.
That's right.
James Cerrito?
I think that's what happened.
You know, all his food is so fresh. That must drive you crazy.
It frustrates me.
And he's gay?
Well, yeah, I think he is.
What?
I think he's a
That's
known
so
homosexual.
funny.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well,
It's so funny
that-
that we've had Jimmy on all these years and it's never come up that he's gay.
Be that as it may.
He's got a wife named Maureen.
Well, all I know is we were going to transport our seafood, and the health department says you don't have a license to carry seafood interstate, so you're going to have to leave your seafood back here, and you won't be able to cater your affair. And we had the ice chests all warmed up and all that.
Warmed up.
Yeah, we did. We had the ice chests all warmed up.
So your discarded seafood
Yes.
license doesn't cross state lines?
I don't know. If I worried about regulations, I wouldn't be in goddamn business. That's for sure.
Doesn't your brother Quinn Queasy, doesn't
Quinn
he
Queasy.
handle all the legal stuff?
No, Quinn Queasy's a lobsterman.
Oh, I didn't. Well, who handles all your legal affairs?
Legal affairs. I do my own work.
Well, that's your problem.
I actually do my own paperwork.
What if you had mailed the food?
You know what? Maybe if I shipped it.
Yeah, and
That's
you wouldn't
a
have
good
to
idea.
overnight it.
No. I'll tell you one thing. Jesus Christ, I'll tell you this. You'll know that it's arrived.
Yeah, you won't need to hear the bell.
You'll know. You won't need to have anybody ringing that doorbell. You'll know that seafood's on your doorstep when you get that ammoniated smell going through your nostrils. And, might pack you guys up before the show as well.
Dick,
Hello, Oscar.
in the big city, New York City,
Yes.
the health inspectors give an A, B, C, or an alphabet grade to the actual
letter.
restaurants.
A letter.
Yeah, I'm
A
aware.
letter.
I know the
An
grading
alphabet
system.
grade.
Damn it!
I am more than familiar with the grading system of food.
Yes.
And I get the standard grade that I've gotten for the last 72 years.
What's that?
My father, my father's father, and Dick himself. I've gotten an incomplete.
No, it's an incomplete.
It's an incomplete.
Now, does that mean you can make it up later?
No, that means that the inspector's going to leave my dining room and not come back for another year.
Oh, so he just doesn't even finish
I
up.
just don't want to see the son of a bitch.
I understand.
I just say, well, thank you. Thank you. Make sure you take one of our discarded hush puppies on the way outside.
Technically, hush puppies are not seafood.
Well, but they're an accoutrement.
A what?
I'm trying to use that fancy French word. No, they're just a side dish.
Yeah, well, you can ship those.
That's right. We've got they're delicious.
Yeah.
They are delicious. They're slightly soggy.
You know what would be great? If you could put together a package that you could ship down. I'd like some of the soggy hush puppies.
Right.
And some of your signature blue slaw.
Oh, the blue slaw is the most delicious you'd ever like. I'll tell you something. We make our own blue cheese dressing, too.
It's so tart.
Now, the
the tartest in town.
And here's the reason. You know why? Do you know why my blue cheese dressing tastes better than most others?
Why?
Because the fact is, I don't use exclusively blue cheese.
What do you use?
Well, that's a secret.
Oh, really?
That's a state secret. But if you come up to Dick's, the only time we had trouble with our hush puppies is one of my new kitchen workers put them in the warm-up cooler.
Oh, yeah. Well, you had them all warmed up and ready to go.
It was very frustrating. And somebody put them next to the eggs, and on top of the eggs was the chicken stock.
Yes.
And the chicken stock was in one of those containers that had a leak in it.
Yeah.
And we put those hush puppies out on the table, and by golly, they tasted like oatmeal.
Do you have you ever thought of contacting Robert Irvine?
Irvine?
To come in and do Restaurant Impossible at
I don't
Dick's?
watch television.
You don't look at TV?
I don't own a television set.
How do you pass the time?
Transistor radio.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
So let's start by looking at construction costs of our new factory.
Hold it. Why build? Hey, you're better off leasing at $1.25, $1.50 a square foot. Take your down payment and put it into CDs or something else you can roll over every couple of months.
Thank you, Mr. Mellon. You will see the final bottom line requires the factoring in of not just the material and construction costs, but also the architect's fees and the costs of land servicing.
Oh, you left out a bunch of stuff.
Like what, for instance?
Well, first of all, you're going to have to grease the local politicians for the sudden zoning problems that always come up. Then there's the kickbacks to the carpenters. And if you plan on using any cement in this building, I'm sure the Teamsters would like to have a little chat with you, and that'll cost you. Oh, and don't forget a little something for the building inspectors. Then there's a long-term cost, such as waste disposal. I don't know if you're familiar with who runs that business, but I assure you it's not the Boy Scouts.
That'll be quite enough, Mr. Mellon. Maybe bribes and kickbacks and mafia payoffs are how you do business. But they are not part of the legitimate business world. And they're certainly not part of anything I'm teaching in this class. Do I make myself clear?
Sorry, just trying to help, that's all.
Now, the next question for us is where to build our factory.
How about Fantasyland?
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are live from Studio 1K in the Fiberplex Broadcast Center. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are downloaded worldwide over 20 million times and powered by Encore Insurance. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa.
We should ship some of those hush puppies to Kelly.
Yes.
Because, he's been so great by us all this time that
He
we've been
certainly
on
has.
that fine radio station.
A 10.
The letters escape me. The
Right.
actual call letters escape me. The
Exactly.
alphabet, Oscar.
Exactly.
I can't think of the alphabet.
They're in the alphabet.
But I just want to say hi to Kelly.
Right. Hi, Kelly. Our show today is brought to you. Today is Tuesday, November 5th, 2013, Election Day.
Yes. Have you voted, Oscar?
Oh, I don't vote. You know.
course
that.
not.
Oh, come on.
Legally
man.
prohibited.
There's nothing to vote in D.C.
Yeah, there is nothing to vote for in D.C.
Means a lot in this state, though.
It sure does. Big one in Virginia today.
Go Cuccinelli!
Hard on crime, right?
He's tough on crime.
Our show today is brought to you by eVoice.
Yeah.
If you are an entrepreneur, your first impression expression means everything. If a customer calls and doesn't like what they hear, you know what they're going to do?
What?
They're going to pound sand.
Yeah,
they're going to go. They're going to go away. They will simply move on. It's true, and they will leave you in the dust. That's why eVoice is so important. We use eVoice at the Mike O'Mara Show. It helps you control the experience every customer has when they call your number, and with toll-free or strategic local numbers, that means you can structure it any way you want, and also local call routing tools and a dial-by-name directory. You are never leaving money on the table. You can be a sole proprietor. You can be an individual entrepreneur with a brand-new business, and eVoice will give you the power that would be like having a fleet of communications people that are taking all your phone calls all day.
It allows you to easily make the presentation you want to have for your first impression.
Supersize your business.
Here's another thing that's terrific, and I think this is great for business owners as well. If you can't take a call, but you need that call. You know something's coming in. Say you're in a meeting with someone else, a more important meeting that you have to take. They will even transcribe the voicemail, and they will email it to you. You know, you see people like that in meetings all the time. Oscar's always distracted, always looking at his cell phone to see who's writing him something when I'm trying to have a conversation with him.
Normally it's during the audio vault when Oscar handles a lot of his email.
Well, empowering.
Exactly. But anyway, you'll always know when to respond and how to prepare. This kind of technology can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars for your company. We use it right here at TMOS. eVoice starts at $10 a month, and you can try it for 1 month absolutely free. You want to give this a try? Say, hey, this is something that could really take me to the next level.
Sure.
Just go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click on the eVoice banner. It's easy to do. It really is.
It really is.
Shut up.
And you know it's
I'll
fast.
Stop. I'm excited.
It's
I'm
fine.
excited.
You should be excited.
We'll talk next week about
right.
our new stuff. But
Yes.
we have new stuff.
Yeah, you like things.
Phenomenal.
Don't you like things?
I love things.
He does.
New things are good.
Shiny.
Remember that 30 days free at our wonderful website.
He's like a
just
kid.
Hit MikeO'MaraShow.com and click that eVoice banner.
Yeah.
I just so want to talk
I
about
know
what
you
happened
do.
before the show. Let me just say this, because we'll go into the details next week after the live
Yes.
show. But I come into Oscar, and Oscar comes walking in. I'm like, we don't have any ads on the website. And Oscar's like, do you have ad blocker on? Like, there wasn't even a nanosecond. And
Oh,
I
not even
felt
eye contact. He hadn't even set his bag down yet.
Such an idiot.
It was such a great
an idiot.
encapsulation of your relationship because
Right.
Oscar had not even come in and his shirt had stopped not touching his back.
And when
he
I-
was still in motion. You don't say hello. You
Right.
say, no ads on the website. And without Oscar even blinking or turning to you, he says, do you have ad blocker running?
And that's when I feel like I should take a cell phone that's this big and
Yeah.
just go, hi, how are you? Hi, how
Like
are you?
the Miami Vice
I'm going to
phone?
go watch my Betamax right now. No.
We hear the loser sting. Womp womp.
Michael.
Blocker.
So it is Election Day.
It
and
is.
as we just discussed, this is a big day in Virginia and in the
Big,
state of
big
New
day.
Jersey. I guess
Across the
it's-
countries.
But
There's
those
a lot
are
of
the,
elections
but
going
those
on.
are the two states that everyone's watching.
Here in Virginia, I had me a moment. Now I'm a very big one for getting out and exercising your right to vote. It's
Right.
a very, very. I think it's a privilege, and I think we should exercise that privilege, and we should vote.
Quickly, I'm just curious. I was talking to my mom about this today. Do you remember the first time, not that you voted, but the first time you actually
Remember the
went
first president I voted for?
Who was the first
Taft?
president?
How are you? Taft. A-hole. Taft. What a J.O. you are.
Yeah, he is.
Grover Cleveland Alexander.
Hey. Are you running ad blocker and voting for Taft?
Yeah. No, my
But,
first president I voted for was Daniel Day-Lewis.
But did you? But do you remember the first time
What?
you ever went through the voting process, like with a parent or something?
No.
Because I remember in '76 going to the polls with my grandmother.
Wow.
And
It's
remembering
a long time. You were a little boy.
I was 5, but
Right.
I remember, and that was when they had the big switch, the lever that would close the curtain.
Right.
Remember the big old green voting machine?
Sure.
Chunk.
I'm old enough to have used them.
And I thought, and ever since then, I've always thought it's so cool. It is a cool privilege. And even though I think that to save our country, we're going to need to move to an internet ballot system in the next 10 years.
I think you might be right about that. I think anything that would, although when you look at our pop culture, you say the dumbing of America, maybe not. But I really think anything to bring everybody into the
That's
system
what's important,
is
yeah.
a very good idea.
Heavy Hitters Voting Day 2013. Today,
Okay.
Tuesday, November 5th. New Jersey, We've got New York City.
Yeah.
And then Boston.
Right.
New York City, Boston, and Detroit are all going for mayoral races.
Mayoral
They're
races,
Pretty
yes.
important in those cities.
There's, I believe, a gubernatorial election also in the great state of Maine.
Yes.
Where my cousin Teddy is managing Elliot Cutler's campaign up there, and I wish
Go
him the
Cutler!
very best of luck. He is the independent,
Right.
And he is running against LePage, and then the guy that just made a really big splash by coming out of the closet and announcing
James Buchanan.
that he was.
Oh, he needed the gay vote?
Call back from yesterday.
Came out of the blue?
Yeah, no,
2 days before Election Day?
The LePage campaign, the
Governor
Republican-
Gaga?
I think the Republicans were circulating like a whisper campaign
Oh,
against
okay.
him,
Oh, okay.
and the Democratic candidate went, "Hey, lick it."
Yeah.
In the best possible
Yeah,
way.
because that's how I like it.
And that's no. He just came out and he said,
What it's gotten into you today?
He's trouble today.
Yeah, he is.
He is trouble. You know what he is? He's relieved that all his hard work has paid
Not
off.
just mine. It's a
Yes.
team effort.
It's a team effort, but we'll
Team
talk
effort.
about that.
Team Oscar.
I'm not going to leave it in the locker room, although that goes against every fiber of my being.
I know.
I will talk about the new website next week.
Stop it!
Okay, very
But
good.
you were right that the two big gubernatorial races, I guess, nationally that everybody's going to, and I think Rob might have said, is Virginia and New Jersey.
Yeah.
Virginia, New Jersey. So here's my moment, and you, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak are going to get a kick out
Now,
of this.
I was here fairly late yesterday, so when did this go down?
9 a.m. I'm in here.
Oh, today.
I am sitting in the studio.
Okay.
I am doing my show prep at 9 a.m., and I get the ding dong, and that, really, I give the Napoleon reaction. When I'm in the middle of my work, I'm just in there, and I go, ugh. And I'm very,
That's the last thing you want.
No, it's just like one of the things about living here is door to door. It's relentless.
Yep.
It is relentless.
You've got
And
a perfect neighborhood for
I
it.
cannot stand it. I don't like people. I don't like people coming over unannounced. I don't like people banging on my door with a survey or with their hand out. It pisses me off.
Kids with plastic pumpkins. That's mostly once a year. but-
Hey, we're the local band. We're gonna get some money. Let's get some money. And I've only been rude probably
was that
once.
was that the hair lip project? Or?
No. We're waiting money for the band. We're waiting money for the band. Now I'm not.
fine.
I am just doing a silly voice.
You are.
I am doing.
That's
what
it.
voice?
This is how you've made a great living for many years. Is doing a series of silly voices.
I am doing Ted from the movie Ted when he gets ripped in two.
This is when the stuffing comes
He's
out.
Hey,
pretending.
Johnny, I'm just screwing with you. I don't know why. I
Now
love that
you would
movie
like
so
it
much.
if. Would you like it if Ted came to your door?
Oh wow!
Wouldn't that be something, Charlie?
Freak out.
Talking bear.
Here's my wallet.
Talking bear at my door.
Take everything.
Come in, Carla. Bring the baby.
So-
There's a bear at the door.
There is a kid that knocks on my door at 9:00 this morning. He's
How
got
old
a
would you
clipboard.
say?
He looks to be high school age.
So you know what he's probably
Maybe
doing?
college age.
This is oftentimes a holiday because all the schools are being used for polling.
Right.
So they try to work it as a teacher work day. I bet he's getting his high school government volunteer credit.
Well, whatever he is in a car.
Car.
You see Mommy across the street, who's obviously driving him from door to door. Mommy, yeah, with her up to her third digit, her third knuckle in her nose. No,
Mom's picking her nose and smoking.
he's from the Terry McAuliffe campaign, and he comes up to me, and I said, "Yeah." And, I mean, I opened the door, and you can just the energy comes out. I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Hi, I'm with the Terry McAuliffe." I said, "Voting Democratic, straight ticket."
Yeah.
Yeah, me.
Okay.
How I do.
And so you think that
How
would
he
be
rolls.
it. Normally at that point, he's writing it down. He's making a little mark on his little sheet.
White guy, corner house.
Disc jockey.
And then he says,
Mad.
Then he says to me, this is the funny part. And I guess this is the time of day, people that aren't at work.
Right.
Will you need any assistance getting to the polls? God is my witness!
That's fantastic.
God as my witness!
Oh, that's
Will you need any assistance getting to the polls? And I'm like, no, and I looked at him, I swear to God, I didn't miss a beat. I said, no, I'm ambulatory.
God, that's great.
And I also know how to drive an automobile.
Yes,
So-
but you know what? You probably don't have your car today.
Right.
Maybe you could. Maybe if you
Maybe
didn't
you
need to
didn't
lift,
notice a car.
Yeah, if you didn't need to lift to the polls, maybe to the grocery store.
Maybe he thought. It's either, what is it? It's the infirmed or the elderly that need help.
The
Right?
infirmed and the elderly,
Yes.
and if you need,
Yeah, this guy needs help getting to the polls.
and I
Yeah,
guess
he's infirmed, elderly, and a pain in the ass.
He's going door to door, and I've never had that question, and I was so put off.
How
by
did you?
it.
Did you really? Did you answer right away, or were you
I
thrown
said,
enough that?
No, I'm ambulatory, and I'm going to vote the straight ticket. So you
But
know, have a
now
nice
it's
day.
Cuccinelli, bitch.
Yeah, because you asked me if I needed assistance, I'm voting for the Republican.
You know what? I don't suppose you could vote a straight ticket up in Maine.
No, you.
Just a thought.
I hope that my cousin
Independent.
Sky does well.
Yeah.
I really do. It'd be awfully nice. if
We've
he
talked
was
in the
following.
past that Maine is a state where an independent often has had a chance in the past, so it could definitely happen.
It's a wild state, though. You never know what's going to happen.
How does that work here in the Virginia area? Do they come pick you up? I've never really heard about
Okay,
this.
all I know is
Town car.
there were two things at work.
Uber election day.
This kid was at my door. I looked across the street heading into Old Town.
Yeah.
And there was a woman at the wheel. Now, I would assume that the scenario looked like this. Will you need any help getting to the polls? And if that was the case, that maybe that car was waiting there for
Could
me
be.
to give me a ride.
And the scam is this: it's a free ride to the polls, but they charge you $10 to take you home
After you vote.
That's right.
That's it. So it is election day, and
Where are you going?
Probably right after the show. Right after we've got some work to do for our live show.
Yes.
And then I'm going to get right off. I do not want to be after 3 o'clock.
Oh, no.
No.
Because that's when I think most people voted.
And also, that's
when
when the senior citizen are they called proctors? The guys that run the thing.
they're called proctologists.
And then you're going to the wrong place.
Well, the poll that I go to, I go into the line to check my ID and get my name. Then I go to the line with the rubber glove.
You know who's working the polls today?
Who's that?
Katie Cole.
Really?
Yeah.
Katie's working
She's
the polls?
actually working the
when
polls.
she told me she was working the poll, I had no idea it had anything to do with the election.
Yeah, she took off of work from Tmos, and we were ribbing her a little bit yesterday because we
Really?
did Tech
Why is
411.
she? Is she?
Because she's not involved. She used to work with.
she a poli sci girl?
I don't know, but I was like, wow, you're like a patriot. And then we found out she's getting paid $100, and we're like, oh, okay.
I thought it was volunteer.
problem.
I thought it was a volunteer thing.
I don't
Some
know.
people get paid.
Because if you get there after
I thought
3,
it was an elderly thing.
yeah,
Usually.
well, you get there after 3. Not only is it crowded, but the old people have low blood sugar.
You know what I love
and
about
they're
this show?
mean.
What I love about this show is that it always gives me wonderful ideas. You want to like knock the voting thing probably up about 10%.
What's that?
You put hotties at the polls.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You put Hooters girls.
Yeah.
Vote
the
at
polls.
Hooters.
But unfortunately,
Vooters!
they don't know how to alphabetize.
Yeah, best wings in town.
They don't know how to alphabetize.
Once
They
a
would be
year.
up there and goes, excuse me, it's like, my name's O'Mara. What does that begin with?
Yes.
It might be a little tough
When are we
situation.
be able to vote online?
So
Will you do an electronic ballot, or will you go into the with the paper ballot?
I don't remember how mine work. It's
We
like,
have a
mine
choice.
is like a hybrid or something. like that.
You get a choice often.
Really?
Yeah, make sure you take a number 2.
You live, Rob.
Pencil.
You live in Leesburg.
I do.
You live in the land of new. Everything where you live is new.
Not
Everything
everything.
is. Well, you can.
I'm
go,
a mile and a half away from Old Town Leesburg, which is a Civil War city.
Right.
Of course, my part skews a little newer. We have no tree bigger than 2 inches in diameter, but we're very close to where it's an older town.
No tree bigger than 2 inches in diameter.
That's actually, if you translate that in Latin, that's the motto of Loudoun County.
Welcome to the Leesburg Polling Center for Rob Spiewak. Will you be taking your flying car to the polling place?
There is plenty of shade if you're
Right.
short,
Right.
Because there's no tall trees. They haven't had time to develop.
Meanwhile, here in Old Land, Mike O'Mara is getting people knocking on his door going, do you need some assistance?
That's right.
To get to the polling place?
He's ambulatory.
I like my little voting place, my little elementary school. And
We go to the elementary school.
and I like to, I've always, because I'm Irish and that's just the way we are, whenever there's been a line, I always just am itching to just get into some sort of political discussion.
Isn't that frowned upon?
Yes, you can.
And you know what?
You
You
really
also
can't, but like you'll see the guy, you'll see the guy with buttons on,
Yeah.
and you'll see the people that are waiting outside for their guy. And I just, I'm the opposition. We've become so divisive in this country that I look at, at the opponents with a great deal of disdain, like they look at me.
Oh, like
I think
Right.
you're not allowed to wear buttons and stuff into the polling place, right?
I
Isn't
think
there
you-
like a
They
line?
mill around outside.
They mill around outside.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
hang out and they're handing out. They try. There's all these rules that they have to go along
I like
with.
yelling, get a job.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Well,
I'm
Get a job, you jerk!
I'm ambulatory.
I was just.
I just came from work. You've been here all day? Lucky you.
Well, now, there's one thing you could say, and this would be very, very. What I'm going to say is going to be a little controversial
Yes.
right now.
Here
But I was thinking it might be fun today to actually be standing in that line and go, God, this is a longer line than expected. I'm going to be late for my cousin's abortion.
Tough crowd.
Tough crowd. Hey, but I want to tell you. This would be the real reaction. Hey, it's a joke, okay?
Yeah, we're just doing shtick.
Lighten up, please.
MikeO'MaraShow.com. That joke and others like it.
I wonder, though, I would love to know, and this is because we're all in a goofy mood today.
Yeah.
But my brain goes in this. Would it be, can you hand out stuff? Like they give you sample ballots, but you
What,
can't
like donuts.
No, they'll give you like a. They'll give you a sample ballot.
Well,
with their candidates checked off.
There's usually some guy reeking of cologne with a folding card table, and he's just outside the perimeter of the school
with a trench coat,
right? And he's handing you stuff. So do you
fully
want
turgid?
Do you want to set up a table and hand something out?
What I would love to do is if I got permission to do it, I would like to hand out condoms. Oh. I mean, wouldn't that be just? I mean, I like to go the other way, or how about a donut?
All the way.
A donut and a condom.
How
there
about,
you go.
How about we hand out headache medicines like they do at tax
Goodies
day?
headache powders?
Yeah, and you can say, I know this election is really a hassle, so here's 2 Excedrin from the Mike O'Mara Show.
Well, all I know is that we've got a very watched election here in Virginia, and apparently the Democratic candidate has a lead, but you never know on election day. In New Jersey, it is Rob's candidate, the guy that Rob picked before anybody else started talking about it, Chris Christie, and then the country is just going wild
for a
this
man
guy.
of his size, he's very graceful, and he will waltz back into the governor's mansion.
He will,
and therefore he will be a player in the presidential election.
Well,
I still think he's going to win.
They're going to the election for president.
Yeah,
you really think?
I do.
You think the nomination.
Did I not call the weight loss?
The nomination, or
you did
or
call
everything?
it.
I called the weight loss.
You did.
Well,
you
it's not
absolutely
really
did.
coming as
well. You know
fast
what? No,
as we'd like. I think.
but he says that he's the healthiest fat guy in the world. That's his quote. But you know what? If you compare. Although he's not keeping it excessively tight.
Well, he's
tighter.
He went from like hotels on a Monopoly board to a townhouse.
Yeah, he is the size.
You're still like a residential area.
He's a condominium.
I tell you, he is a breath of fresh air for Republicans and Democrats. I am a Democrat. I look at Chris Christie as somebody who is refreshingly candid.
Very real.
Now,
good.
they also can say that, when you're running for president, if you're going to be in the highest office in the land, you have to have a level of control. I think this country is about up to here.
With control?
With control.
I agree.
With a controlled, understated leader. Not to slam Barack Obama, but the fact is, Chris Christie brings that kind of shoot from the hip quality that's a little refreshing.
I feel like he would break into whatever server room is building healthcare.gov, and he'd have a jelly donut in one hand and some sort of weapon in the other hand. It says,
get it done!
Let's get it done! I'm going to sit here and eat these donuts until they're done.
Apparently the
right?
problem
like
is...
you'd be yelling.
There's custard on the server, Mr. President. But I do see, and I think he is sort of a refreshing callback to a more reactionary president.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe that's what we need now.
And you can...
But that didn't work that well either.
But isn't it... You know what it is? It's his charisma.
Yeah. He's
like
got
you
charisma.
believe in him.
Yeah, people
charisma.
do. Now, did
Yeah.
you see what is the book that was written by the it's like the
Double Down?
Yeah, and they're saying that one of the reasons that he was not chosen on
because
the ticket
when the Romney campaign did the vetting process for Chris Christie, they found in the book it's written as landmines. That
And
there are a
further-
lot of things that Chris Christie has done that are a little hinky.
Really?
And even though there's an argument that to run for a major gubernatorial position in this country, you're fully vetted, it's not like the
Oh, not
president.
like- and also
But
they
who
said-
doesn't go through a drive-through twice? I mean, you can't judge a man for
Now,
that.
how many
Come
times
on.
has he eaten in
So
a
the-
parking lot? But they also
Another
alleged
fat joke.
they alleged that he was not forthcoming with his medical records.
Yeah,
which
so-
I think is also kind of. But you know what? With this weight loss, I bet that'll change.
Maybe it's not weight, Rob. Maybe herpes.
Oh, you think?
Herpes.
The painful drip,
You
drip,
never know.
It's
drip.
all about suppression.
We'll take a break, and it's a segment I'm not necessarily looking forward to. It's Sugar Glider time.
Oh, good.
We're going to get Phony over here. He's beginning to cringe already to get a Sugar Glider update. That should take about 30 seconds. And then we will talk about a brand new confection that is on the market from the Lay's Company. We'll take a break. Be right back on the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to MikeO'MaraShow.com. This segment of the program brought to you by AC Lens.
Oh, they're great.
AC Lens rocks. Rob Spiewak, you know all about them.
You want to pay less for contact lenses and get it done in like 2 minutes? Go to aclens.com. Just take the prescription off the side of the box that I bet you have in your medicine chest, and you will get your contact lenses faster and cheaper than any doctor.
Is it a medicine chest or a medicine cabinet?
It's a mirror with a hinge on it.
And shelves.
Yeah, various shelves and whatnot, if you will.
20% off all orders and free returns on everything. AC Lens has all secure purchases for you. They also have a 365-day guarantee. This is what I'd like you to do. Go to aclens.com, click on the microphone, and enter the promo code TMOS20. That's promo code TMOS20. And some exemptions apply. See the site for details and get ready to get your great deals on all of your optical needs at aclens.com. They are a partner of the Mike O'Mara Show. We urge you to visit that site today.
Love them.
Pony,
good morning.
how are you?
I'm doing great.
Hit his music, Rob. It's time for Pony Time on the Mike O'Mara Show.
It's pony time! Get up!
Pony boy, won't you be my pony boy?
My pony boy.
It's quite an intro.
Are we done?
We're done now.
Okay.
Until we do the closing.
Okay. Now, when last we checked in, you had lost your sugar glider.
Correct.
You were
lost.
Murdered.
Well, you heard the story.
it died.
Yes, it was not watered.
Then-
it was murder. Murder.
We appealed to our audience to help you get a sugar glider.
Yes, and they have responded very well, and I have a lot of leads that I need to go
like
through.
sales leads.
Yeah.
What's the hottest lead you've got?
There's a guy who has 2 of them for adoption, but I think they're a little bit on the older side.
Like, how old are they?
Like 4 years.
So,
like,
what's
how
that
old is
in
that?
marsupial years?
Yeah, I mean,
They-
are they
they
like
live
Jack
about-
Lemmon? How old are they?
They live about 15 years or so.
so let me ask you this about your sugar glider.
It's a 40-year-old man.
You had mentioned before
Like adopting me.
that sugar gliders are they're like a one-person pet.
Actually, they'll bond with the family, but they tend to be best bonded with the first person that owns them.
Okay, and
So if you were to get the sugar glider and miraculously bond with it, would it remove the need for any female companionship in your life?
No.
No. Okay, because you can introduce other people in later.
Yes, correct.
so this sugar
Two-word
glider.
answer was good.
When are you thinking about pulling the trigger, or are you thinking? Because you just said your number one lead is something now that they're older. So you just said, "I've got a great lead, but no, I'm not interested."
I've got
this
a bunch
is
of
the
leads.
ABCs of you. You say that you want something, then it's hem haw, hem haw, hem haw. And so my question to you: out of all the people that have reached out, and God Almighty, did our listeners
God
go a
bless
little
them.
They
nuts about this sugar glider situation?
Our listeners love rodents.
Is there anything that looks like it's almost? I'm not going to say 100% because you don't do 100%.
No.
Is there anything
You're close.
promising?
Yeah.
There are a few promising offers I need to look into, but I'm waiting until after the live show stuff is done.
How about there was one lady that sent you pictures of like shaved guinea pigs. At least that's what I hope they
hated
were.
those. That's gross.
What
looking.
about any interest there?
No, those are imitation
What about?
Imitation what?
gliders. I don't know. I mean, they're-
No, they were. I think they
You're
were.
very snooty about this whole
They were
process.
hairless guinea pigs or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what they were. I
Why,
saw that.
why
picture,
won't
too.
you take? Why won't you adopt the 2 guys? It seemed like they had a loving home. Can I give you just the background for these 2 guys?
Yeah, and what could you have 2 of them? Could you bring on 2?
I'd rather not
To-
take in 2.
Just be quiet for 2 seconds. Listen to this.
The hardest person to do
Yes.
anything for, and I'll never do it. I'll never.
No, he's a good guy. He
No, I'll
deserves
give him.
it.
I'll give him like a Christmas bonus. But other than that, I'll shake his hand and say, "Go have a martini."
This couple says that they've had these sugar gliders and they need a lot of affection. Their kids have gone away to college, so they have a lot more cage time, which isn't really good for them. They need time outside.
time.
They
Kind
need-
of like Frankie.
They need some time outside of the cage, right?
Yes.
And really, Matt Bloom,
The USG,
Pony Boy.
ultimate sugar gliding.
I want you to take. How much
USC.
time does this marsupial spend in the squared circle?
Cage time,
Little tiny paw tapping out.
dude. Pony talking to a sugar glider. Man, you're doing okay, but you need some more cage time. You need more cage time, man. So go ahead.
He's got the opportunity to really spend some time with some great little animals that aren't getting enough love at home.
Right.
But he won't do it because apparently he wants a newborn and not like a toddler.
Is that what you want? Do you want a new one?
Yes, that is correct.
Is it at all like when someone wants a puppy instead of like rescuing an older dog?
Yes. I would say that is exactly what it is.
We've established. So the guy that is your most promising lead is screwed, correct? You are not going to get the sugar gliders from the 4-year-old guy. You're not going to do this, right?
Correct.
And the guy is not for the sugar gliders. Are
so
for.
that is not your most promising lead.
Correct, but the other leads.
What's your most promising lead outside of that? The most promising
Someone
lead.
gave me the name of a mall in Maryland that
Sells
is
them.
frequented by the sellers.
Yeah, I told you they sell them in malls. I've seen them. He said they got it. You can only get them from Australia. That's what this guy told us.
Hold on, what mall? What mall in Maryland?
Is it in Laurel?
You know, no.
Is it
White
Iverson?
God.
Is it Landover?
It could be Landover. I don't think Landover Mall is doing. I think it's closed.
Really?
Haven't they shuttered
Maryland Live.
I like that Landover Mall. It's a lot of fun. I probably shouldn't be doing that with a mall shooting today.
Yeah, what are you
pretty
doing?
stupid. I've been in that mall.
Jeez.
That's in
God.
Paramus. I've been in that mall.
It's one of the biggest malls in the world.
Yes, I've been. I think
The
it's right
Paramus
off,
Mall.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's right off of 17, right near where my sister used to live.
Don't they sell
in Jersey?
sugar gliders there?
I'm sure they do. It's a large mall.
Yeah.
What's the mall? What's the mall in Maryland that
I
has?
believe
the
it's Annapolis.
Annapolis Mall.
On Quality Mall.
That's a great mall. You should go down there and check
Great
it.
mall.
Great mall.
I'm planning to do so.
Great Browning element.
Honey, where did you get this sugar glider?
At the Annapolis Mall.
We're going to need 10 sugar gliders.
You should call them and ask them how many they have.
Yes, I agree.
I'm planning to do so.
Hold on.
Yeah, well, you know what? You want to plan to make a phone call. It's not something you want to jump into crazy.
All right,
That's
hold
right.
on a second. We have the time. I'm going to do it right now.
Please.
We're going to look it up. Sugar Glider, Annapolis Mall.
Ah,
Here
maybe
we
there's
go.
a fair going on this weekend.
Here we go.
If you could pick it up on Saturday day and then have it for the live show on Saturday night.
Yeah, we
that
could
might
put it.
be
We could put the sugar glider on the guest list.
Yeah.
it wouldn't
yeah.
need a ticket.
Sugar
Plus
Gliders
one.
at Annapolis Mall.
Matt Bloom plus one.
Yes.
Hold on a second.
So what's that in your pocket?
Now there's
that's my sugar glider.
Now all I'm getting is a picture of a sugar glider. Boy, they're a little larger than I thought. They kind of look like some of them are. Can they get almost as big as Frankie?
Not even close.
No,
Okay,
no.
I'm just looking at this picture right here. Is that a sugar glider that I'm seeing right here?
That looks like a
that-
flying squirrel.
Is, but that's nowhere near as big as Frankie.
Okay, no, I know.
But yeah, they'll
not
get-
exactly. Not exactly. It's just larger than I've seen them where they're sitting in the palm
How
of
about
a
they're
hand.
bigger than a hamster?
Okay, they
Yes.
are bigger than a hand.
Yes, they'll
but
kick a hamster
smaller
ass.
than a possum.
Or a chihuahua.
Or a
as
chihuahua.
as we've
Yeah,
established.
Sugar glider pocket pets for sale at Annapolis Mall.
You know, you can buy also pocket pets at certain adult-oriented stores
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Ooh.
Now they have a lot of
They
pictures.
come with remotes.
Okay, they've got just tons of Flickr pictures. Flickr! It's
Flickr!
Flickr! I hate Flickr because Flickr doesn't give me any
You know
information.
what's about to happen? He's about to get mad at the whole internet again.
There's another.
I hate the internet.
All I want to do.
Slam my computer.
All right, hold on. I'm just.
Save it for the show.
It doesn't say Annapolis. All right, hold on.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's
We're
call,
holding pattern.
How about we just call Annapolis Mall?
Okay.
Call them right now?
Well, is there a pet store in Annapolis Mall? Because we can't call the mall.
I'll take care of that. I'll
Okay.
look for that.
Thank you.
Hold on.
All
We'll
right.
do that.
Here
I
you
think it's
go.
more of like a kiosk deal, anyways.
Oh,
So I don't think they'll
well,
have
that
a direct
doesn't sound
number.
like a reputable sugar glider dealer.
If it's the people I'm thinking of, they are very reputable.
I actually, though, this would be a good excuse to call the mall and the main. Here, I've got the.
You got the main
Is
number?
it Westfield Annapolis?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Rob.
Here you go. Here's a piece
Let me
of
write
paper.
down this
There you
number
go.
for you, and then it'll give me the chance to do my Truman Capote voice.
Oh, nice.
No, I'm interested in a sugar glider. Could you please tell
I
me
love where this is going.
if the sugar glider
What we're doing is we're making it happen. We're absolutely making it happen.
I'd like to get it.
Well, apparently they come to the mall on a regular basis.
Sugar gliders.
Now we have 1.5 minutes. Dial now or till after the break.
Huh? Just try it now.
All right, here we go.
See
You
what
can
we
make
got.
a phone call within 60 seconds with those big ham fingers of yours.
Yes. You said
I'm just going to ask one question. Do you sell sugar gliders at the mall?
That's 266, right?
I think so.
Thank you for calling Westfield Annapolis Mall.
You're welcome.
Your 24-hour source for mall and
Zero.
shopping information. Please wait to be connected.
Okay.
There may be a moment of silence. Thank you.
Very good. This is radio, so I can do
The
this.
mall's open.
Yeah.
Getting ready for Black Friday, no doubt.
Makes sense. Traditionally, the heaviest shopping day of the year.
Election day, I thought, is the heaviest shopping day of the year.
Thank you for calling Westfield Annapolis. This is Ariana.
Yes. Do you sell sugar gliders?
What store are you trying to reach? Because you reached the mall's management office.
Yes. Do you sell sugar gliders in the mall?
We do not.
I thought the website said they sell sugar gliders in the mall.
We do not sell sugar gliders in our mall.
I saw a picture that was inside the mall. Was that someone that brought them in?
Possibly, yeah.
Well, who would I talk to about sugar gliders? Hello?
Sir, we do not sell sugar gliders in our mall. I'm not exactly sure what post or picture you're referring to.
You
but we
don't
do
have
not
to
a-
be mean to me.
I'm not being mean. I'm just saying we do not sell sugar gliders in our mall.
But the website said you sell sugar gliders in the mall.
What website?
The website I was on.
Did they say what particular store sold them?
No.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what picture or post you're referring to.
You're not helping me. You're not helping me.
I'm letting you know that we don't sell them in our mall at all.
All right, then. Have a nice day.
Hello?
Have a nice day.
Thank you, you too.
All right.
That was fun. We'll take a break and come back on the Mike O'Mara Show.
We're back.
That's what happened, Rob. What happened?
We missed our mark.
We missed our. Well, that's okay.
And we'll correct it.
For that other
It's fine.
station.
Yeah, that's
Screw
right.
them.
Yeah. Hi, Kelly.
Screw them.
It's fine. We're back.
That's the way I look at that.
Hour 2, John.
All right, very good. God. It was just so great.
It was
and
fun.
then it just was ruined. Yeah, he ruined it.
No, he didn't do anything.
How did I ruin it?
He's running the
I
clock.
like to have music.
Yeah,
and
he
stuff
wants
like
music
that,
to come
You know,
out.
I like to have the whole thing working, and then you hit the music like there, thinking about the time cue. I'm WTN crap, and I didn't care about it. And
For
it
what
didn't
it's
matter.
worth, she didn't hear the music. I'm not sending the music down the line.
All right.
Thought you wanted to hit your cue.
All
My
right.
apologies.
Jesus Christ. Welcome back to the mic. And now I have no music. Can I get some music to come back to the show
music.
with? Thank you. Jesus Christ.
You say stop, it stops. You say start, it starts.
Thank you.
This is what I do.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment of the program is brought to you by Stamps.com. A quick trip to the post office is hardly ever quick. You know that. Driving there, finding parking, it's a hassle. So do what I do. Use Stamps.com instead. Right here, we have a post office down a road that is one of the, especially this time of year, one of the most amazing quagmires you will ever experience. You can avoid all that hassle, getting your packages to loved ones, getting your business shipping done by going to Stamps.com. It's the quick and easy way to get postage on demand for any business. Buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter or package using your own computer and printer. Stamps.com will even send you a digital scale that calculates the exact postage you need for any class of mail. You don't need one of those expensive postage meters. You'll never waste valuable time making trips to the post office again. I use Stamps.com to send out my Christmas cards.
Look at you.
Special offer right now. Use our promo code TMOS for this no-risk trial. Plus, you get 110. Now, what is the offer? Hold on. I've got it here, down here. The special offer right now. Use our promo code TMOS for this special offer. What is the special offer, guys? I believe it's a $110 bonus.
Right, and the postal meter, the postal
with a
scale.
digital scale
Yes.
and up to $55 free postage.
That's it.
That is the offer. Here's the call to action. Go to Stamps.com. Before you do anything else, click on the microphone and enter the code TMOS. That's Stamps.com. Enter the code TMOS. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. There's the right one. The show is literally falling apart at the seams here. We've gone a little out of our depth today, and it's ruined the program. I'm sorry. Good night. I'm leaving. That's it.
I wish
We're
you'd stay.
We're having a perfectly good show.
I so wish
The
you would
phone,
stay.
The dialing of the phone belongs to me. I want to dial the phone. That's what I want to do.
Do you know what? The dialing, I hate to say this, the dialing of the phone had nothing to do with it.
Really?
Nothing.
It was me missing the cue.
No, it wasn't that either.
What was that?
It was me misreading you.
Okay.
I assumed that you would want. You know what? We have never missed. We have never missed our halfway break.
I know, and
we
maybe
never
that's,
have.
and maybe that's a problem.
Maybe it is.
Maybe we should have a little more freeform.
And you know what? I say my prediction is in the near future, Mike. It won't matter as much.
Well, you know, it just it was fun and it was great doing that. And the bottom line is, we're trying to do a favor for a friend, and I think we can establish the fact that Annapolis Mall does not sell sugar gliders.
Yes. Exactly.
In any way, shape, or form.
Could you clear up the special deal for Stamps.com? Because they're a brand new sponsor. I just want to make sure they get it.
Okay.
Please. It's right at the bottom.
All right.
You can see it right there.
Right now, use the promo code TMOS for this special offer.
Okay.
It is a no-risk trial plus a $110 bonus offer that includes a digital scale and up to $55 free postage. This is not my fault. I've been handed this today, and this is the first time I saw it, and I don't know exactly what the offer. It says right now, use my promo code TMOS for this special offer. That's what I know. There's a special offer. I know you get the $55 in free postage
and the postal scale,
and I know you get a free digital scale. The problem is that should be up here, and then you should say that's the free offer with the code.
Understood.
That's what it should be. So kudos to them. Is this the first day that they have joined us on the program?
That's why I wanted to clarify.
Well, that's terrific.
It's a great deal.
I do use Stamps.com, and that's it's frustrating that we had that happen today because the offer is you get the digital scale and you get $110. That's a total value of $110, and you get $55 free postage. So if you want a clarification on what the offer is the $55 free postage and also the free digital scale so that you can weigh everything that you are shipping out at Stamps.com. And the nice thing about that digital scale is it goes right into your software. You're able to use it with your computer, so you will be able to see
super easy
what you're sending people, and that's it. We will tighten that up. I promise you from the bottom of my heart that will happen.
Use code TMOS.
All right, so the bottom line, the person I blame for all of this today is Pony Boy because he didn't get a sugar glider yet.
That's right. And because you know what? He's needy. And he wants a young sugar glider.
But the fact is, they don't have them at the mall now. So we found that out just by making a phone call on the show. She could not have been any more definitive, that lovely young lady.
She certainly seemed to mean it.
And we'll fix all of this in post, correct?
Of course.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You don't have them at Annapolis Mall, so you're kind of screwed on that front. And the other guy that had 2 sugar gliders, they're both 4 years old, the ones that you don't want. So my question to you is, I think it's time to give up the dream of a sugar glider.
Mike, what pet do you see him with instead?
How about a golden retriever?
That would be great.
You're a lot like my father, where my father, when he wants to do something and he's got like the kind of initiative to go out of his way and say, I'm going to do something nice for somebody.
Right.
He wants it done as soon as possible.
Like, you know what? Like your watch.
I agree with your father because the fact is you strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah. And I've always known that about him.
And if you come out and you say that we're going to enlist the support of listeners and stuff like that, then it's the onus is on you.
Yes.
So hopefully Pony's got some leads that he'll be able to hunt this down. But it sounds like the listeners that have reached out, much like when we were trying to get you laid, it's not. Is it working out or
is
not?
there any way we can combine both of those and find a very affectionate sugar glider?
Ew.
Pony?
Come back, Pony.
You have to speak into the microphone, please.
I missed your question. Rob
This
distracted
was such
me.
a fabulous show. Right up until the time we came out of that wonderful bit that I was doing with the sugar glider, and the show has gone to hell.
It's
in a
on me.
handbasket.
It's on me.
I swear to God.
It's totally fine.
Rob, with respect to you, it's not on you. It's a combination. It's a perfect storm. It is not your fault.
No, it is.
It is
Ultimately,
not,
it is.
Well, we were kind of dancing for a master who I don't give a rat's ass about anymore.
That's true.
That's
true.
And we hit time cues for the Washington D.C. radio station that doesn't give a rat's ass about us.
Right.
And so that's fine, and I'm done doing that.
All right.
I think that it happens once
Let's
in a blue moon.
enjoy
But
the
Rob,
show.
But Rob does go when Rob's got a mission.
Yeah.
That's remember the old days. That's when you would sit there and go, that time cue was.
It's sort of ingrained in me.
That time cue trumped everything, but that's okay. That's no problem at all. The bottom line is, are you going to get this animal or not?
Yes, I just need to have some time to.
We gave him until December. I'll say this: you've got 2 weeks, Ponyboy.
2 weeks. I thought we gave him until Thanksgiving.
2 weeks is Thanksgiving.
Okay,
basically.
all right.
In 2 weeks, Mike will come back to you, and if you don't have a little furry animal in your pocket,
$500 offer.
Yeah.
Correct?
Hello.
That's a $500.
Yeah.
Do you withdraw the offer?
No, I'm not going to take it
if he
back.
doesn't do the 2
in
weeks.
2 weeks, find a furry animal that you like better than the others.
Pony does
get this done.
The work that Pony is doing is too valuable, and we value what he's doing for the show. And I think he deserves a little perk. So that I'm not going to rescind the $500 offer. It's just
Timetable.
Oscar's point about the fact that when people are doing things, and Are you somebody that has trouble getting like a compliment too? Do you have trouble when somebody gives you a compliment? Do you get embarrassed?
Have you ever gotten one?
That's a good question as well, Rob.
I do get embarrassed.
That's a fair question.
It's fun.
Go ahead.
I do get a little embarrassed.
You do?
Yeah, so this is kind of the same thing as that, Pony. Where people are really excited. They like the fact that, our friend Cappy, she reached out to you. A lot of people online have reached out to you at the same time. And so I think that what Oscar's saying and what I'm saying is that we just kind of like to see resolution. You know? And I think the ultimate resolution for the good of the show is, when you come walking in with that thing in your pocket one day.
Yeah.
And then it's eaten by a pug.
Do they make noises?
Kill him. Yes.
Can you imitate the noise?
No, it is the most
It's
loud,
high-pitched.
inhuman thing you've ever heard.
But is there a charm to it, or do you like it? I mean, you've got one of these pets. You've had one.
They only make noises when they're scared.
Yeah.
And it's called crabbing, and it's the loudest thing you've ever heard.
It's called crabbing.
And it's Mike. It's louder than a jet engine.
Does it get louder when you tie the twine to its tail?
Swing it above your head.
I was going in a different direction.
I'm with you. No.
no.
He was thinking Richard Gere.
Yes, I was.
I caught it on the first bounce,
It
Mike. I'm
always
sorry.
gets back to Richard Gere.
That's right.
The greatest sex stunt in the history, if it was ever true.
Oh,
I
it's
have
so
no idea.
alleged.
It's a total urban legend.
You see, the thing is, though, is that those marsupials, they don't crawl towards the light.
Hey, Pony, is it fair to give you 2 weeks?
2 weeks is great. I
Okay,
just
2
need
weeks.
to get through this week with the live show
I know.
stuff.
You've said that 10 times. And that's good.
right.
I'm glad you're dedicated to
Yes.
that. We all have to get through the live show.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, when is that, anyway?
The live show
I
is
don't
this
remember.
coming Saturday night.
Oh, I don't know that I can make it.
I'll be an alternate.
It's going to be big fun.
Oh, that'll be good.
America.
Yeah, Pony will sit in for me.
2013. Good luck. We'll check back with you maybe in 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
to
if
find
you're
out,
still working here.
what's going on? Amazing video today that was out there. What are you
Nothing,
pointing to?
nothing.
Did I do something?
Not at all.
Amazing video today of a skydiving accident and the fact that all these people in 2 separate planes made it out alive.
Yes.
blows me out of the water. But at the same time, it's this is an activity that I have always said. If you're going up in the airplane and you're jumping out of a plane for fun,
Yeah.
when you hear about it's not that
Accidents.
it's not that it's not sad when somebody hurtles to the ground without their chute opening and goes splat. But the fact is, whenever I see this, much like when I see bungee jumping, once when you see the daredevil that
With the
flies
flight suit?
with the flight suit
Yes.
between 2 peaks,
Like
and
a
stuff.
sugar glider.
Like a sugar glider. There is a part of me, and this is a cruel part of me, that says, when you see this type of thing, it's like, okay,
Well, the parachute.
what you're doing.
The parachute was, correct me if I'm wrong, at least my understanding, it was invented as a life-saving device.
Right.
When you wear it in a plane, if something goes dastardly wrong, it's going to allow you to float to the ground.
Yes.
It's not designed to cheat death, and that's what you do when you're up there literally jumping out of a plane.
Yeah, and obviously they take precautions, but all of these situations, and I have a different perspective on these. Maybe I don't mind, here I am talking about this, but then again, I'll pick a fight with a guy in a bar, and that's just, in many cases, if you look at statistics, that may be even more
You get
dangerous
shanked.
than, or somebody might throw you down on the ground, you hit your head and you're gone. But at the same time, when you
no,
go
it's
up
not the same.
and you go through that process, and isn't the rush, isn't the whole, have you bungee jumped before?
No.
You've
I
never
tried
done
to in Cabo San Lucas,
But you didn't
there
do
was
it?
a tragic accident the week before.
Oh, no, really?
It was
go.
bungee jumping off a hot air balloon.
Right.
And someone had gotten hurt just the week before we got there, so they closed it down.
Wow.
There's my point.
Yeah.
There's my point. Have you parasailed?
Yes.
So you've done that where
Yes.
they pull you up behind
Yeah,
the boat,
yeah, yeah.
and you see even
So
those.
boring.
And that's run by people that aren't even good enough to be disc jockeys.
Crackheads.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what are you going to do with your life? Well, I got fired at the Taco Bell, so I'm running a parasailing business.
So Shannon let go of the actual parasail and let herself hang from the harness.
Really?
And I said, my words, WTF, but the real words.
Yeah.
You're supposed to hold on. Do you think that harness is any safer than you just
Explain that. So she got out of the little seat?
So she's in the harness. So something goes through your legs, right?
Right.
And
then-
then
Yeah,
you're
it
supposed to
does.
hold on to the parachute.
Okay.
The sides, right?
Right.
So she lets go of that, and like a trapeze artist, starts looking back and hanging down,
Like with their arms
yeah,
out?
and the two guys, the potheads that are running this thing, are freaking out on the boat.
Harold and Kumar,
because she could just slide out of that thing. She's not. And I said, "What?" I said, "WTF? Hold on." And
Is she somebody that goes on a roller coaster and puts her hands up in the air, too?
She's got this.
I do
This
that.
chip in her head that says, "I'm unstoppable and I'll never die."
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I said, "That is not okay.
It's
Not
very
on my
scary.
watch."
That is
Wow.
very scary.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's- go
I
ahead.
don't. I would never do that. I am a hands up roller coaster guy, though. I do that.
Yeah, but it's the same
that's-
thing. You're just
but
kinda
no, but
getting
you
the
see,
thrill.
but in the roller coaster, they expect
That's a
you to
lot
do that.
less. That's a lot less
Yeah, that's-
harrowing
that's
than
nothing.
than something that really you're really a slave to the elements.
I think one
right?
thing
and
that-
technology.
The thing that really threw me is when they had these dummies interviewed on the Today Show today. They really, and for if you didn't see it, two skydiving planes collided. There was fire.
It looked like an altitude issue where either one plane suddenly gained altitude and hit the other one, or the other one dropped too fast. But the one plane literally came down on top of the other one, an immediate fireball. And miraculously, both pilots, one who actually landed one of the planes
Yes.
involved in the collision, survived. The other plane broke up, and the pilot escaped with a parachute. It was truly amazing.
But I saw these people on the Today Show today, and they're asking them questions like, "How many of you are going to parachute again?" and all these leading questions.
They all
and,
raised their hands?
And the whole, yes, the whole.
Well, they've cheated death
The
already.
thrill,
Right.
the thrill chip in their head. They're saying really intelligent things like, "I saw things on the video that I don't remember happening, but I guess it did because that was the camera that was on my helmet."
You
and
react-
so, and it's like, you dummy. Why would
Fascinating
you do,
video.
Why? Yeah, it's gorgeous to look at.
you
and very
react like I
exciting.
do to these situations where you see this.
I'm
and
not sure I'd ever get on a plane again.
It's just a little bit. I don't know how I feel. It's cruel. It's too cruel the way I react to that, because when something like that happens, I usually say to myself, "Well, I mean,
What did you expect?"
going into that, there's
Yeah.
a pretty decent chance maybe something will snafu and you'll be in that situation." But they all survived, and I
We
was
don't
happy
have
about
that.
that.
You
as
and
well.
I don't have that chip. Somehow.
I would go and do it. I would go and if we had.
Wait until after the live show.
I remember at one point at the old WJFK we had a pending sponsor. Is it Who Wants to Jump Out of a Plane? I signed up for that, ready to go. Right.
You have the daredevil.
I would go and do it
element.
because I heard the experience is really worth
The weird
like,
thing,
even
though-
once in a lifetime.
The
Would
weird
your
thing,
girlfriend?
though-
Would your girlfriend do it?
I'm sure she would. Yeah.
Okay.
The sponsor was Geico. I don't get it.
You know, President, the old President Bush,
Right.
Triple OG Bush,
He loves
Yeah,
it, but
he loves it.
Hold on, though. He was a naval aviator. So I think I give those guys a little extra free pass because he's somebody that actually did it for training in World War II.
Okay.
And he was involved. The guys that do that, the guys that are actually, doing it for a purpose, it's different. I don't know. I don't begrudge anybody that wants to go and skydive. To me, though, when something happens like that, I always have that attitude. Well, you kind of signed up
What
for
did
that.
you
So
expect
did you jump out of a plane?
No,
What
as
happened?
usual, you get hyped up. You start talking about the promotion on air, and then you have a sales lady come in and says, "Oh, they pulled out."
Yeah, the dangerous stuff they would, especially towards the end, they wouldn't let us do.
Did you do any? Have you ever done any
The
crazy
lawyer said
stunts?
we couldn't.
I have never done anything where I would put my life in jeopardy.
I did the one that
Not for a radio station.
I got sort of tricked into it. I did 2 blimp trips for your show,
And-
one was a very low key, nice one. I think it was the Red Dog blimp.
Isn't that the one where our chief engineer got sick?
Yeah, and I can tell you what he threw up. He threw up a Swiss cheese and onion burger because it smelled like it the whole trip.
Dan Rice.
Yeah, Dan Rice
my
and
God.
Dish. But the Red Dog blimp was a really, really nice trip. But the Blockbuster blimp was being flown by a nuts guy. And we had great, like a Marty transmission back and forth.
Yes.
So I was on the air. It was like a shortwave deal. And Mike and Don were talking to us. And, well, what can that blimp really do? And
as far as maneuvers?
Yeah, and he says, well, we can do a pretty good dive. And they said,
God.
where are you? He said, it was cool because we were able to give our location, and commuters were seeing us.
Yes.
We're at Georgia Avenue right now. He took that thing into a 45-degree dive towards the spires of the Mormon temple.
Oh, my God.
I nearly released.
And Dan threw up.
And Dan threw up. And I said, you know what? No more Swiss cheese for me. But that was probably the scariest thing I ever did.
Scariest thing I ever did was not a radio promotion, but I actually took a sugar glider and I put it in my butt. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's news you may not need on the Mike O'Mara Show right after this. Welcome back to MikeO'MaraShow.com. I want to thank some of my friends that have been telling me they were successful on FanDuel this week.
Oh, yeah.
You can be as well. They're one-week fantasy football leagues for real money with immediate weekly cash payouts, no waiting, no upfront fees, and no season-long commitments. We can play 1 week or every week like I do and win. In my case, I put a lineup together. Not all that successful. Josh Murphy put a lineup together. Waiting for my update. And we'll see what happens. They have paid out over $135 million this year. And New Year's is special. Here it is. The first 200 listeners to sign up will have their deposit matched up to $200, but you have to enter the code TMOS when you join. FanDuel.com, where every week is a new season. That's FANDUEL.com. Use our code TMOS and sign up today.
You're up $30.
Yeah, in Josh's league.
Yes.
Yeah, so that means technically, I have to admit it, Josh Murphy had a more successful lineup.
He scored
than I did.
148 points.
That's a very significant
He'll be
amount
in
of
Friday. Will you bring him back into the fold?
Well, I think I'll do it the same way, where I'm in now. I signed up for another league in
Right.
FanDuel, and Josh Murphy's playing with the original money that I started with.
Right.
So I got two going. It's like playing two hands of blackjack.
Like
there
that?
you go.
That's what I'm going to do it. FanDuel, FANDUEL.com. Check it out today. We appreciate it.
From around the globe, across the nation, looking through your neighbor's window, the Mike O'Mara Show now presents News You May Not Need, a comprehensive look at the stories you may or may not be talking about during your daily activity. And now, News You May Not Need.
The acrimonious campaign for Virginia governor neared its end today, capping a race driven by negative ads and unrelenting accusations of dodgy behavior.
Dodgy
I love that.
behavior? Wow.
These candidates don't like each other. I'm talking about Terry McAuliffe in Virginia and Ken Cuccinelli in Virginia.
Have you heard the new Cuccinelli commercial? I actually have audio of it.
I have not.
Here it is.
I'd vote for you. You have a sweet bike, and you're really good at hooking up with chicks. Plus, you're like the only guy at school who has a mustache. If you need to use any of my skills, I can do whatever you want. Plus, I could be your bodyguard, too.
Thank you, Ken.
Paid for by Cuccinelli 2013.
I'm not sure if that was Ken or Terry.
I forget. It wasn't good imaging.
McAuliffe planned a before dawn vote and visit the campaign offices to help sustain his lead in the polling. His Republican competitor, Cuccinelli, he scheduled his own campaign visits as he held out hope his conservative supporters would fuel a come-from-behind win. The polling shows Terry McAuliffe in the lead. I am a student of this type of thing. I would not have my jaw completely hit the floor if there was a stunning upset in this election.
Really?
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
I got a vibe about this election. There is a recent... The polls recently have tightened up, and there's just this real passionate Cuccinelli thing going on around
And
here.
you know what else it is?
It's interesting.
I hate to say it as a lifelong Virginian.
Yes.
Virginians are into the fact that the eyes of the nation are upon us.
Yep.
And they're going to really go out there and vote.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, but it would not surprise me, but, I'm voting for the other guy. A lopsided race for governor in New Jersey will be decided Tuesday when voters choose between Republican Governor Chris Christie, who could leave before a second term ends to run for president, and his opponent, nobody hears this name, Barbara Buono.
Oh, I've
Really?
never even
It's
heard
like
it.
Victor Bono.
Yes, I'm fat. That's all there is to that.
She's a little-known state senator who is the only Democrat willing to challenge Christie. He's been barnstorming the state by bus since Wednesday
How can you tell which is the bus?
to drive up turnout. Polls leading up to Election Day showed him with a 20-point lead.
Yeah, he
we'll
is
have to
loved
see.
in that. He is loved in that state.
We'll see what happens with that one, and good luck to both of them. Sorry about that. What am I doing? I'm hitting all the wrong things today. The Pentagon is preparing to make top-to-bottom changes, including a push to limit the growth of military pay. as it adjusts to steep budget cuts and the winding down of the war in Afghanistan. In a speech on U.S. defense priorities, Chuck Hagel said the Obama administration preserves the military strength and it will make it a less prominent tool of foreign policy. That's not a new goal, but one Hagel said is more achievable now that the U.S. is ending more than a decade of foreign conflict and the public is weary of war. As much as I kind of skew to the left sometimes, I say to, still kind of like that strong military.
And never, it really is a good thing to have in our pocket.
Be
like
careful.
a sugar glider.
Be careful, boys. Hollywood actresses are under a lot of pressure to always be thin and to often eat as little as possible, but Michelle Pfeiffer recently revealed she'd been part of a cult that encouraged her to swear off both food and water. Pfeiffer moved to Hollywood when she was 20, and she signed on with a pair of personal trainers in quotation marks.
Wow.
They told her food and water were unnecessary. They worked with weights, she says, and put people on diets.
Is this the cult that the sugar glider was in, Pony?
Didn't work out for him.
The anti-water
Poor
one?
Flappy.
They believe,
Flappy.
They believe that people in their highest state were breatharian.
What does that mean?
It means they don't eat or drink.
That's stupid.
So you just don't eat.
The couple put her on a diet that she says nobody could adhere to and told her to work towards not having to eat at all.
Keeping it tight.
Hollywood. It was very extreme, she said. There were various levels I did try to reach. Breatharians, Rob, believe that people can live off of the sunlight.
Oh, my God.
How nice.
Just like plants can, but even plants need water, and they also have chlorophyll that allows them to create energy from light. Humans do not have chloroplasts and cannot do what plants do, even if they drink chlorophyll supplements.
You know what I bet, though? If she got really skinny, I bet she had a great gap.
An urban legend joined forces with a recurring nightmare, this is one I have, in the worst-case scenario, to permanently traumatize a young mother who found dozens of the world's most venomous spiders crawling all over the banana she was preparing to consume.
Oh, no! Yeah.
I thought it was mold, said Concy Taylor.
Why is the mold moving?
She's English. She's from London. She was referring to the white spots she found on her banana.
Oh.
But when I looked closer, I saw some funny-looking spots and was horrified to see they were spiders.
Oh.
They were hatching out on the table, scurrying around on my carpet before realizing she was dealing with dozens of Brazilian wandering spiders, a.k.a. banana spiders.
Yeah.
They are highly aggressive, highly venomous spiders certified as the most toxic by Guinness. Before she realized that, she attempted to return the bananas to the grocery store where she'd bought them.
Oh, no.
She was initially offered £10 for her trouble. But
10 pounds of bananas are like $50.
But after sending a photo of the spider to a pest control guy, Taylor and her husband Richard and their two small children were ordered to get the hell out of the house and never look back until it was fumigated.
Wow. Of course.
The grocery store subsequently offered to pay the full cost of the extermination as well as pick up the tab at a hotel where they were temporarily put
Where
up.
was this again?
Scary. This was in London.
Oh,
you know,
And
I
they
was
are called Brazilian. They're banana spiders. The Brazilian wandering spiders. We should probably be aware of that in this country.
I was in the grocery game for some time, and it was not uncommon for the big crates of bananas to come in, and for dead and occasionally a still living tarantula to be in the box.
Yeah, very scary.
And I know one time they found a really big tarantula. And think about this the next time you're at a grocery store. I won't tell you where I worked, Safeway. But they actually took it back to the meat section and wrapped it on one of the trays that they do like ground beef on, and covered it with the plastic and carried it around the store. Tarantula under plastic. So watch out.
Made the day go a little faster.
You know what? It's always fun to have
Grocery
fun.
store shtick.
Hey, listen. Listen up. This study isn't saying that when a couple has a fight, the woman is the one who can't move on, holds a grudge, and thrives off being passive-aggressive for weeks or years. I swear it's not, but just listen anyway.
Okay.
According to a new study out of the University of California, Berkeley, the key to marital happiness, and perhaps girlfriends as well,
Okay. And that's what it leads to.
the key to happiness, I had to bring this in for you today, is how fast the wife stops being angry after arguments. The researchers analyzed video of 80 couples and found a direct link between their happiness and how fast the woman got over being angry.
Roofies.
Roofies.
Absolutely roofies.
I believe this with
That
all
works.
of
I would
my
say
heart.
it's a balance between that and time apart. quality time apart.
The researchers say, quote, when it comes to managing negative emotion during conflict, wives really matter. But our study suggests that if spouses, especially wives, are able to calm themselves down.
Yeah, calm the F down.
If they're able to calm themselves, their marriages can continue to thrive.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Look,
That's fair.
Call me sexist. I don't care. I believe that with all of my soul.
It's their job.
Why I'm happy. Carla burns hot like I do, but she calms down afterwards. And I don't have to do the punishment
Damage
walk
control.
as long as I have in
Do you
other
think that lady's
relationships.
still mad about the spiders?
Probably, yeah. And now a little something. Police outside Tulsa, Oklahoma got a call Saturday night from 4 people who said someone shot at them while they were out hunting Bigfoot.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you just need the lead.
That would be it.
That's great.
But after police questioned them, 21-year-old Omar Pineda admitted he'd gotten spooked by a, quote, barking noise in the woods.
Oh, barking or something.
And he accidentally fired a shot that hit his friend in the back.
Dick Cheney.
Omar's father-in-law, Perry Don James.
Who?
Perry Don James.
Is that a 3-named person?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because I thought Peridon was like a dinosaur.
He is a convicted felon. He panicked and he took the gun and threw it in a nearby pond before calling for help.
Nothing worse than a panicked felon.
Luckily, the victim is expected to survive, but Omar was arrested for reckless conduct with a firearm and obstruction of justice, while his father-in-law was arrested for illegal possession of a firearm and destruction of evidence.
Jeez.
Also,
Yes.
Omar's wife, that good lady,
Yes.
she was arrested for obstruction because apparently she's the one who originally claimed someone else fired at them. But police say it's likely no one would have been arrested if they'd all just told the truth from the beginning. My advice to the whole family, stay at home and enjoy a chocolate pie a mile wide.
Nice.
We'll take a break, come back with the Audio Vault and Rob Spiewak right after this, everybody. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. We are again brought to you today by AC Lens.
Yes.
At aclens.com, they take great pride in their easy-to-use website. Their great prices, one-stop shopping for all your optical needs. They meet the optical needs of the whole family with free shipping and fast delivery. They sell every contact lens available in the U.S., all with their 365-day guarantee. All purchases are secure. Order online or call 888-248-LENS. Style you can afford, quality you can see. 20% off all orders and free returns on everything. Go to aclens.com and click the microphone. Enter the promo code TMOS20. That's promo code TMOS20. Some exemption apply, and see site for details. Let's open up the Audio Vault for Tuesday, November 5th, 2013.
Amazing customer service at AC
Yes.
Lens. If you have any question, they're right there for you. It is Election Day. And you know what really makes and breaks elections now? It's not issues. It's not what's going on in the country. It's the people that get the biggest celebrity endorsement, Mike.
Right.
That's why everybody in New Jersey is voting Christie.
I don't endorse many politicians, but Chris Christie is different.
Shaquille O'Neal.
He's working with me to bring jobs back to our cities and on a new program to help kids in tough neighborhoods get ahead. Governor Christie's provided more funding for schools, giving parents more choices in what schools their kids can go to, and merit pay for good teachers.
There you go.
He's a good man.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Thanks, Shaq.
He's a great man.
Thank you, Shaq.
Please join me in supporting Chris Christie.
Okay. I said, did you see the Jay Farrow impression of
I was
Shaquille
just going to
O'Neal?
ask you. I watched.
You seen it?
I watched Saturday Night Live last night.
The
and
only funny thing on that show.
I don't know. I thought it was one of the best start to finish Saturday Night Lives in a season.
We must have been watching a different show.
With the one with Kerry Washington?
Kerry Washington?
I thought it was AO. It was just a big
that's
pile of
great.
mediocre.
The whole thing killed me, but that Shaq impression I watched 3 times. He comes out cross-eyed and sitting a foot and a half taller than Charles Barkley.
And he commits to it.
Oh God, it's so funny.
I wish they'd use more Jay Farrow. I really
He
do.
really has a very consistent average.
Yeah, he does. He
It
does.
was.
He
I
does
thought it
really
was a
well.
great episode. Check it out if you can. Now, I have very little use for the band Phish. Phish.
Oh, I love Fish.
Do you really?
Yes.
But I put this video on our YouTube page. Check it out. They brought Abe Vigoda in to shoot a promotional video for Phish.
Amazing he is still alive.
And you know what? He is sharp, and he's walking with a cane, but he really does the line delivery well. This made me actually go back and watch his scene in The Godfather.
Okay.
Which is funny because The Godfather is, 40 years ago now,
And
right?
Abe Vigoda was an old man in The Godfather.
And in comparison, he's like a young, vibrant Abe Vigoda in The
Exactly.
Godfather. But
Right.
this is Abe Vigoda trying to be a part of the band Phish, and I think you'll enjoy the dialogue as he talks to members of the band.
Thank you so much for coming out to our Halloween event. It really means so much to us. We've been big fans of yours for years and years.
I want to sing some songs.
Oh, Well, we really liked back in Barney Miller and Fish and all this.
I even brought my own arrangements.
Hey, it's been a change of plans. I gotta take Abe back to his car.
And that screws up all my arrangements.
That's what the boss said.
Tell Mike it was only business. I always liked him.
He understands that.
Paige, can you get me on stage? For old time's sake.
Which is, of course, he played
cool,
Sal Tessio in The Godfather.
Classic scene. Probably the best guy knowing he's going to get whacked ever in the history of mafia movies.
The whole progression of that scene, because his death becomes apparent to him inside of like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And the way he watches his whole life sort of just decay.
Tom, can you get me off the hook just for old time's sake? Great scene.
It was only business. So great. So what do you know about a guy that is all of a sudden on every newscast, and his name is, ironically, Incognito?
I have no idea.
Lineman for the Miami Dolphins. And his name is Incognito.
And he's a bad guy.
And he wasn't incognito.
Yeah, this is ESPN actually achieved or rather revealed a voicemail transcript of something he sent to one of his co-players, I think Jonathan Martin.
Yes.
And this got him suspended. Here's ESPN reading the actual voicemail.
Bad guy.
Yeah.
Richie Incognito, the Dolphins guard, left a voicemail on Jonathan Martin's phone that reads the following. Hey, what's up, you half-N piece of expletive? I saw you on Twitter. You've been training 10 weeks. I want an expletive in your mouth. I'm going to slap your expletive mouth. I'm going to slap your real mother across the face with laughter. Expletive you. You're still a rookie. I'll kill you. The NFL is in possession of that voicemail, as is the Miami Dolphins organization. And once they heard it, they made the decision to suspend them.
And it's going to, of course, make everyone now talk about bullying in a setting where you never thought bullying would exist. The National Football League.
And look, analysis by a guy from Miami. He's a former player. He's on a radio station down in Miami. Don't know the guy's name, but he was doing analysis yesterday. And his point was that this is the reality that exists within NFL training camps.
Sure.
This is the way it is. This is the way they behave. They're young men. However, what he also said was, I don't do that anymore because I've grown up now.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it might be time to address the way they have life skills that they teach these incoming rookies, to teach these guys that, look, you're going to have to behave normally at some point, and maybe you do it starting when you're an NFL player.
So James Brown, legendary James Brown.
Oh, JB.
Yeah,
Brown.
he comes on, and he says, look, these things happen. But the hazing for a rookie, because Incognito is not a rookie, clearly.
Right.
He's hazing what is now a second-year man in the NFL.
Right.
He said, it's one thing to go out with your friends and have the rookie pay the bill as a joke.
Right.
It's quite another to send threatening voicemails and texts to your teammate.
Completely, and it's something where it's all degree, and I'm glad it came out because hopefully you can have it. You can do fun things. We haze people.
And Martin is like, with all due respect to the other players, he's out of Stanford. He's an educated guy. He's probably like, what the F is going on here?
And he overreacted
and
to
with
it.
That in mind,
he reacted to it.
And with that in mind, this makes this PSA that they show on the screen at the Dolphins games just a little odd. This is also Mr. Incognito in an actual filmed PSA.
Hi, I'm Richie Incognito. On the field, players have called me overly aggressive. While off the field and on the croquet lawn, I'm quite civilized.
It's essentially a PSA telling the fans in the stadium, no harsh language, no threatening behavior. Way to go, Richie.
Yeah,
Way to go.
You just rein these guys in. Look, they're children.
Yep.
They are. They're older children. That's the way I look at professional athletes in many cases. You got guys that are 23, 24, 25 years old. They're still kids.
Yep.
And you got to discipline them and just say, this is a code of behavior.
Yeah.
And you make it a standard practice. Listen, the NFL, more than any other league right now, has a situation where with taunting and with all the behavior of trash talk and making it part of the culture, it's gotten out of hand, and I think you can rein it back in just like you let it get out of control in the first place.
You control. You know what? And yet, no one understands it better than the NFL. They're the best business, the biggest business
Play
in the
with
world.
dignity. You're
right.
Play with some dignity. That's all I want to say.
Also, speaking of dignity, the YouTube Awards, we've heard about them on Oscars Entertainment News, and they went off, but it wasn't like a real award show because it was all done online. Here's one of the results that surprised me.
This weekend was the first YouTube Music Awards show, and Eminem won Artist of the Year. Yeah. YouTube Awards, yeah. Second runner-up was a cat walking across a piano.
That's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Tuesday, everybody.
Thank you, Rob. Don't forget Vistaprint right now through Wednesday. Get 50% off holiday cards and calendars and 30% off all. That's 35% off all products when you go to Vistaprint.com/TMOS. Friends and family. That's what you want to do. It's Vistaprint.com/TMOS, friends and family. This friends and family sale is incredible. This is also about what you can create yourself at Vistaprint.com. You will not see this deal anywhere else on cards and calendars with prices this low anywhere. Skip the hassle, avoid the generic, and go to Vistaprint.com/TMOS, friends and family, and get 50% off holiday cards and calendars and 35% off all other products. Plus free shipping on orders over $50. Satisfaction is always guaranteed. You'll love Vistaprint.com. For technical support questions regarding the Mike O'Mara Show, please contact our man Matthew Bloom, Ponyboy at MikeO'MaraShow.com, and all correspondence can go to TMOS, Box 3, Manassas, Virginia, 20108. And you still got those Diamond Jubilee packages
Absolutely.
as well.
You can search a Rob Spiewak Diamond Jubilee Omericon 2013 Whore Package.
Right.
Just type in Whore Package on eBay. You can get backstage autographs, extra stuff. It's a good way to see the show.
Rob will talk about the Whore Package in detail tomorrow. We'll be back with another brand new show. This one is going right in the time capsule. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Now that the show is over, don't forget to get started with a free 30-day trial of eVoice. eVoice gives you a toll-free or local number so you can take business calls from anywhere and always sound like you're at the office. Also, eVoice has great features like dial-by-name directory and even transcribes your voicemail so you can read them at your convenience. Go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click on the eVoice banner for your 30-day free trial.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.